Hey there! In this tutorial, I am going to show you how you can take a photo from your iPhone's camera roll and run it through 3 different photo editing apps that you can get and download from the App Store onto your iPhone and come out with a photo like this one of the pomegranate and seahorses that looks really realistic like a photo but also looks like a painting. The 3 apps that we're going to use are called Perfectly Clear, Painteresque, an image blender. And I'm going to show you how to use each one of them in that order to come out with a really nice finished photo. So for the first step, what you want to do is pick a photo. And for my photo, I'm going to use one that I took the other day of Max, who's this white Siberian Husky. And as you can see, it wasn't a very sunny day. It was kind of cloudy, so it's not very colorful or bright. But no worries, because the apps that we run the photos through will bring out a lot of the color and contrast and saturation, and it'll look really beautiful. So what we've got to do to start is just pick a photo, and I want to start with this one because he looks really happy and it's going to be fun to work with. So what I do is go to the home screen like this, select Perfectly Clear, which is in the bottom row. And you'll see in the bottom left there's a place where you can click to select a photo from your camera roll. So I'll select that photo of Max right here. And what we need is a really bright image. And Perfectly Clear gives you the chance to make a photo really bright. It's the Fix Dark button on the bottom row on the left side. And I'm just going to click that. And there you go. This is what it looked like before, and this is what we have now. Top right corner, click the share button and then click Save Now. And that photo is saved to your camera roll. Now the next step is to take that photo of Max and to make a painting of it. So I go back to the home screen and I click on the Painteresque app right there. And then in the bottom left there's a button to select image. I click that and I go back and I pick that first photo of Maximus right here. And it's going to turn it into a painting. Now what you'll see is that it's a little bit dark, and the areas on his face that are whiter or should be whiter are a little bit grayish, but that's not a problem because when we put these photos together using Image Blender, it will brighten up again. What we need from this photo is the texture, and it's beautiful. So all we need to do is save this one, bottom right corner, hit save, and it's saved. Now we'll go back to the home screen and we'll select the Image Blender app in the bottom right corner. And when you look at the bottom left, you can click there, select Library, and this is where we will put the photo we made in the first step, right there. And in the bottom right, we're going to tap that little square and Library, and we're going to go to the camera roll and pick the painting photo that we just made. So now they're both loaded. And if you just look at the top of the screen, there are 2 squares that are kind of offset a little. Click that and you can choose from a number of different blend modes. I like the multiply mode, so I'm going to choose that. And as you'll see, if I move the slider to the left side, you get the photo. And when you go over to the right side, you see the painting we made. And what I'm going to do is just move it around a little bit until it looks just right to my eye. And I like how it looks. It's just like season to taste. There's no real rule, but I think this looks great. So then I'll go up to the top right, and the arrow coming out of the top of the box is the save button, and I'll save it to camera roll. Now this photo is done. We could stop right here. I like to optimize things a little and make them look as good as they possibly can. And I think I could improve this photo now that we've run it through 3 apps. I can improve it a little just by going back to Perfectly Clear and making a couple little adjustments. So that's what I'll do. I'll open up Perfectly Clear, I'll hit the back button, and then I'll select the photo we just made, which is the last one here in the camera roll. And then here on the bottom right, there's a tweak button. So when I hit that, I can then adjust the exposure, making it brighter if I want. And then down here, the third one down is vibrancy. And that'll just improve the colors, make them a little brighter and more colorful. So I can move that like over far to this side. You can see it's really red and really blue, but I don't want it to be like too fakey and too bright. And I think it looks good right about here. So what I'll do here is save this image by going over to Share and Save Now. That looks awesome. The only thing I could think that would really improve this is just cropping it a little closer on his face so that we don't see quite so much of his harness and of the space above him. And you can use any photo editing app. Almost all of them will allow you to crop. And if you upload the photo to Instagram, then it'll crop it for you automatically. But I'll just show you how I do it. I use an app. It's called, let's see here, Filter Storm. And I just click Photos, and then I select the picture. I click Canvas, Crop, and then I'm just going to go to Square Crop. And there it is, a square crop. And so I'll just move that out. And then choose where I want the square to be. I think I'll move it down here like this. Maybe a little closer like that. Looks good. So I hit the check mark here. And it crops it. And then I can hit Export and then Save Image. And this will save the picture wherever I want it. I'm going to save it to the camera roll. And now, when we go back to our camera roll, there is the final cropped photo. So there you saw it. In just a few easy steps with a few apps, you're able to take a flat, low contrast photo that you took on a cloudy day and turn it into something that has a lot of punch and contrast and color and looks a lot like a photo, but anyone who looks at this can tell that it's a little bit like more than real. It's a little bit more than just a photo. It's got some texture and it looks a bit like a painting. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Have a lot of fun experimenting with different apps. And if you'd like to experiment, by the way, Perfectly Clear makes a new app. It's called LUCiD by Perfectly Clear. I think if you search the App Store, you should look for LUCiD by Perfectly Clear because I don't think they offer the old version, which is the one that I've been using. And then there's another app that does, I believe, a similar kind of function of brightening your photos, and that's called Photo Adjust Pro Enhance. Photo Adjust Pro Enhance. And that will probably allow you to make a similar adjustment that I was able to show you in Perfectly Clear. And you can also use Adobe Photoshop Express to brighten your photos manually. So those are all options for you. I hope you've really enjoyed this tutorial and it's given you some new tools and apps that you can use to really improve and make your iPhone photos look awesome. Thanks so much for watching.